Fiets is the Dutch word for bicycle. It can also be used as a verb. Fiets is one of the last true nouns in the modern Dutch language. That is, a noun which is not made up of two or more existing words. Yet the word is already about a century and a half old. The concept tweewieler, two-wheeler, the literal translation of the word bicycle, does exist, but includes all two-wheeled vehicles. In short, fiets is a powerful word and is perhaps a symbol for the strength of the means of transport that the Dutch make use of en masse. By now, there are more than 16 million bicycles in Holland, just as many as the total number of residents. 85% of the population in Holland has a bicycle. That percentage even jumps to 97% among 5 to 18-year-olds, almost all of them. And the percentage of over 65s with a bicycle, 73%, is higher than anywhere in the world. But it must be said that the flat landscape, excellent infrastructure, relatively short distances, and the high population density are all factors in the success of the bicycle in Holland. Taking these factors into consideration, it is not surprising that the bicycle plays an important role when traffic policy is determined at the national level. And that role has grown in importance over the past years. Towns and villages especially are encouraged to implement forward-thinking policies regarding cycling because of stricter environmental regulations and greater traffic congestion. What's more, everybody in Holland is aware of a number of other positive aspects of cycling. It's healthy, it's clean, it's exciting, it's relaxing, and most of all, it's fun. Everyone cycles in Holland, and this means that making the bicycle an integral part of town planning is no more than a logical step. The town of Houten, in the province of Utrecht, has put this integration to practice in a unique way. Houten, a town with only 4,000 residents in the early 70s, had 32,000 in the 90s. The town is approaching 50,000 now and still growing. As Houten started with a clean slate, traffic policy could be fully integrated into town planning, with the most important points being safety, ease, and the environment. Houten now has a unique traffic flow system, which is so successful that it has been decided to adapt and use the same system for further expansion plans. The system consists of an 8.6-kilometer long ring road. For cyclists and pedestrians, there are routes running straight through Houten. The main cycle route is in a car-free, park-like zone, with the train station in the middle. Various cycle paths and footpaths run from the residential neighborhoods to the main route. Where these cycle paths cross intersections with motor traffic, the cyclists have priority. To ensure safety when crossing the ring road, 7 tunnels have been built. Cyclists and pedestrians can follow short routes, closed to motor traffic, from one neighborhood to another. Motor traffic must always first return to the ring road and then take another slip road. The dynamics and the amount of cycle traffic during rush hour in the Central Park is striking. An ambiance so special that it cannot be compared to any other place in Holland, or perhaps even in the whole world. The effects of this traffic concept are at the very least remarkable. Combining cycling with traveling by train has turned out to be such a success that the number of train travelers has doubled, and the number of cycle shelters had to be extended again and again. Although there has been no reduction in the number of car owners, car use has dropped by 25%. Traffic safety seems to be the big winner here, with traffic accident figures in Houten 3 times lower than in the rest of Holland. And there have been no traffic deaths in the built-up area since 1987. The city of Utrecht, together with the neighboring towns, has the highest traffic density in Holland. This is chiefly because of its central location. But the people who live in Utrecht also more often turn to the bicycle than do residents of other big cities in Holland. The number of people in Utrecht that travel by cycle per day is 29%, the highest in Holland. Amsterdam is second with 24%, followed by The Hague, 23%, and Rotterdam, 20%. This high percentage of cycle users in Utrecht is thanks to the plans for a unique cycling policy, for the most part now realized. For instance, there are cycle routes traversing the town that make it faster to reach one's destination by cycle than by car. There are single-lane, one-way streets for motorized traffic with a cycle path on each side. And there are streets where the cyclist controls the speed of the other traffic, because the streets deliberately have been narrowed at different points to make passing impossible. The incentives policy has reaped its rewards. More people are using bicycles, and traffic congestion and air pollution have dropped. But the more people that use bicycles, the more bicycles that have to be sheltered. A consequence that could cast a shadow on all the wonderful plans and ideas. It does not enhance the cityscape, and pedestrians are hindered by stacks of bicycles leaning against house fronts, trees, and lampposts. So-called open sheltering at stations and bus stops causes the most trouble. And because of the huge number of cycles left in the open like this, there is a good chance that one left absent-mindedly in the morning can be impossible to find in the afternoon. Open sheltering also paves the way for theft. About 10% of the racks are filled with wrecks and stray cycles. These are regularly removed. If the cycle is complete with postal code, the owner is contacted, and it can be collected from the police. One factor in Utrecht's bicycle policy is the chain approach. The cyclist must be able to easily link up to the various kinds of public transport. This means, of course, that more cycle shelters are needed near bus stops and stations. Because of the chain approach, and to counter theft and open sheltering, various secure shelters are being built near the central station where people can leave their cycles for a small fee. Shelters for 21,000 bicycles are being built as part of the large-scale renovation project for the station area. But special provisions are also being made in the town center and for local residents. The cycle drum, for instance, is a huge success. It takes up the space of a small lay-by, and 4 to 5 cycles can be stored in it. The drum can be locked with a key. New cycle racks, which secure the cycle better, have been placed in shopping streets. It is now possible to lock the frame to the rack. The neighborhood shelter is an ideal solution for narrow streets and for people who do not have enough space at home. No cycle in front of the door again. No danger of theft. More space on the pavement and a more pleasing street scene. The cycle has thus become an important part of modern city traffic, but it can still be taken a few steps further. A feasibility study was done recently on the laying of a cycle freeway between the centers of Utrecht and Amsterdam. The purpose is to encourage commuter cycle traffic and to meet the wishes of the growing number of recreational cyclists, rollerbladers, and other non-motorized road users. A large part of the route runs along the Amsterdam Rhine Canal, with intermediate branch routes to other destinations. There is also a railway line along the route with several stations right at the cycle freeway. The freeway will be decked with special asphalt and will be wide enough so that slow and fast cycle traffic will not get in each other's way. The freeway is 30 kilometers long and can be covered in 1 to 2 hours, depending on the speed of the cyclist. The freeway connects the cities of Utrecht and Amsterdam and a number of locations between the two. Most commuters will not cover the entire distance. Many live at a location along the route and will cycle to their destination from there. if so desired, in combination with the train. The cycle freeway will be a godsend, especially for sports cyclists and rollerbladers. In addition to a wide and smooth surface, the freeway will, if feasible, have the following provisions: signposts, lighting, shelters and conveniences, telephones and information poles, repair kits, wind and green brakes. Of all the examples shown, the cycle freeway is the only project not yet realized. However, this will also soon be ready. The traffic and environmental issue in its entirety forces the government to look for alternatives and to be creative in the use of existing materials. The bicycle has been around for about 150 years, and after all those years, it still fits in excellently with all the plans that have been carried out and with all those still to be developed to resolve traffic and environmental issues.